Hey folks, I'm Aspen Arrow, and we are back in the desert of RimWorld. Having just funded off a raid, we are going to have our little construction bot build us some barricades, since we've been using that soft sand to slow down our enemies. You can see that we're also going to start working on the mech gestator and the subcore encoder so we can have some more little friends. Growing season is here finally, so getting all these set back up. And we are still struggling with muscle parasites, which is slowing us down, and despite using good medicine, they are still persisting. We're going to send Mila over to do some more tending. Mila also has some muscle parasites, but we'll hopefully get through them soon. It is having an effect on our ability to do adventuring. You can see we're only about halfway there with tending quality, needing to get up to 300% total. Still have enough medicine though. Fortunately grew a bunch of heal root, but we're going to keep using the better medicine in the hopes of getting through these. So next up, we're going to do a little trading. We are going to sell some of our excess farm animals for some components, an advanced component, and the far skip Psy trainer. We didn't get far skip on anyone, but we do have 2 level 6 Psy casters at this point, so we'll let someone obtain that and be able to just far skip home or far skip where we need them to, as long as there is another pawn. We'll send everyone in to haul those so they don't degrade. You can see we've also got an electric smelter going. I did go ahead and set the bills up to start smelting some of the steel weapons that we don't need, as we are going to run out of steel on this map and we are not anywhere close to deep drilling yet. Growing a bit of smoke leaf to be able to trade. Speaking of trading, we are going to send Cuz over to our neighbors just to offload some leathers and some stuff hanging out in our inventory space that we don't really need. Of course, our trusty steed flow will go with her. Pretty quickly she arrives back over at Flint. It's nice that we have a trade partner so close. As you see, just offload this stuff. Make a bit of money. And we'll just grab some more components, as we are starting to get to the point where we are going to need to build up a stockpile of them to be able to make more advanced weaponry, flak vests, and workbenches. So home Cuz goes, making it home safe and sound. And we got a bionic arm a episode or 2 ago, so we're finally going to take the time to install that. Smith getting an upgrade and taking care of the pain in her arm. Smith is of course also our crafter, so hopefully it helps out some crafting and manipulation for better gear. And we should hopefully see an improvement in Smith's mood, not being in pain all the time. Sending Forath out to run and catch some folks real quick before they leave. We did grow a bit of chocolate, so we have that lying around. We have some medicine we'll pick up. There we go. Not a whole lot, but we're definitely clearing through medicine, trying to get those muscle parasites treated. Next up, our mechanator or mechanitor is going to get our new baby mech. We got a clean sweep to help with cleaning around the base. So off it goes with this little broom. Should have really named all the mechs, but I don't think I ever did. But we now have a Roomba. The Roomba bot. And just clicking through all the settings to get the Roomba all set up. Next up, exciting news. Our next infant couple is also going to have a baby. Sezen pregnant for the first trimester. A little scary as our primary shooter and hunter, but for now, should be okay. We just will need to be cautious as she progresses to not send her out to fight all by herself. She will also get slowed down, which just seems to be a theme of this run. You can see Danny making work of our new smelter, getting all those spears and ikwas melted down. Of course, eating without a table, so let's toss one down. Animal tree linking continuing. And you can see still not there on our muscle parasites. But we are going to do some more surgeries. We had enough components to finally make some prosthetic legs. So we're about to become the prosthetic leg trio instead of the peg leg trio. So Mila and Smith getting some upgrades today. And one leg done. While I'm thinking about it, we're going to have Cuz use Far Skip as kind of our secondary trader when Danny doesn't go. May also convert Cuz to being our primary trader since she'll now be able to skip home. And next up, Smith getting their second installation of the day. One more prosthetic. And one step closer to bionics. Or at least moving at normal speed through the desert. And second surgery a success. There we go. Everyone hopefully feeling better. Next up in our continuing change this episode, we are going to go ahead and change our ideology, which I also forgot to do a few episodes ago. After a lot of thought, I decided that we are going to go with nature primacy. I think that thematically trees and wood helped keep our colonies safe, and perhaps our impids would like to work on improving this land. So I didn't want to do the dryad trees, but I thought wood and the passive coolers were so vital, as well as for our cooking early on. So let's give back and let's get some trees planted. Also gets us access to the plant specialist, which was one of the big drivers of this change. I think the other one is High Life, but since we went with a no drugs ideology, I decided it wouldn't make sense to have suddenly switched in the middle. Decided farm animals were fine. I think we'll keep some goodwill. No random recruits because of course we're trying to be mostly impid tribals, so won't really help. And there is our new ideology. It means our festivals will once again give us points. I think the cocoa trees are going to count as cutting trees, so we may have a problem there, but weirdly enough, the cactuses and cacti, whichever one you like, they actually don't count as trees, so we can continue to harvest those. Mila and Haz on top of things, already getting trees planted out with our animals who might like some shade. And And we're gonna go ahead and make Haz our plant specialist. Mila actually has many other duties, so it didn't make sense to change her, even though she was absolutely vital in our early game. Haz has actually gotten pretty far overcoming that negative penalty to plant skill, so he will be our new plant specialist. The fertilizer, as it were. We got our little temple here, and Haz will come give a speech. Talking about how his jawline makes him suited for the role. How he will use kindness to overcome obstacles, so he won't be screaming at people in the fields. That's good. I'm not sure how the jawline is going to help anything, but I guess if it works for him. His crafting skill to overcome obstacles, which I believe his crafting skill was a 2, and he now won't craft as the farming specialist, so somewhat funny. Didn't get any ritual or ideology points for that, but that's okay. We should get better harvests and increased yield, which will be really helpful. And you can see we have completed another mech, a lifter, so that will be another little bot to help all things around the base, alleviating our colonists' burdens, letting them do some other things. So we're up to 3 bots. And finally taking care of that anima linking, Rove getting yet another link. And she gets Vertigo Pulse, useful. Pretty useful, I like it. It definitely can slow up big groups of tribals. And during all of this, we actually got a quest for some nomads. So 5 refugees and a child for 11 days, which we are going to accept. Let's see, we have Tony, Ra, Takumi, Patty, and Nestor. Tony has an alcohol addiction. We don't have any beer, but I believe she came with 3, so we'll go ahead and let her drink those in the hopes of avoiding any withdrawal. There we go, 1 drink per day. Raw, nothing particularly special. Takumi, creepy breathing and asthma. We have enough herbal medicine if we really need to provide better treatment. Misogynist, greedy Patty, and child Nestor, who I thought was a Neanderthal, but is actually a baseliner. I think. And while we have our refugees here, we're going to cut a bunch of stone and start working on doubling up our walls, as well as expanding them to include the geothermal and another geothermal. Wild man wanders in, a 79-year-old with cataracts. Nothing we'll be worrying about. And we also get a heat wave, which is unfortunate for our guests, who of course don't have sufficient protection and are not impids. So for now, we are just going to throw down some passive coolers. We have accumulated a fair amount of wood throughout this from our cacti. You can see we've got 1,500 right now, so passive coolers will hopefully take care of it. Unfortunately, as the day goes on, it's clear it's not going to. It's 125 degrees Fahrenheit outdoors, and we have accumulated a bunch of steel, again, thanks to our refugees who've been mining up through the ocean in the north, finding a few good veins of ore. So we are going to go ahead and toss in some air conditioners. You can see it's 90 degrees in some of our rooms, and we are struggling with keeping everyone cool. Heat stroke on several people. And as it starts to rain in the desert, so it is now hot, rainy, I can't imagine the humidity. We do have a little pollution area going for the toxic waste packs produced by the mechs, and then for extra fun we get a plague. So But for true fun, we finally unlock microelectronics. First up, we are gonna bump up our medicine to ensure that everyone survives the plague. See, our food is also starting to get low, but fortunately we have farming command and our rice is ready. It is also time to start moving towards guns, as I don't believe great bows are going to cut it for much longer. Also means we finally get a comms console in. Debated tossing it in Forath's room, but ultimately decided we'll just put it in the common room after moving a few things around here. You can see our air conditioner's also in and doing good work keeping the rooms nice and safe, although the heat wave did finally abate. We get a request for hospitality for a noble for 12 days for some honor. Not really having the space right now. Also, still not completely secure in our food. We did have some dromedaries come on the map, so hunted those. I believe one self-tamed as well, so our dromedary herd continues to grow. Also some cows at some point. Surprising amount of animals going on in the desert here. And I had Rove just go do the animal linking again on her own, getting Skip. And even though we just started tossing down those waste packs, we get a waste pack infestation already. Believe we had one on the first day or two, although my understanding is you can get them on non-polluted tiles. It's just very rare. You can see just a few waste packs. And here come the bugs. Or to get everybody inside the walls, as these are proximity triggered. And nothing too bad. A few mega spiders, mega scarabs, and spellipedes. And I think that'll be a good cliffhanger to leave the episode on. As always, thank you so much for joining me in RimWorld. I hope you're enjoying the series. Have a pleasant day, and we'll see you next time.